Hello and welcome back to another Final Table commentary. Today we got a 1K from New Year's Series 2026. We got Blow Knockout on the final table, Aerodonas, Milanov, Flair Hoove, Romeo Pro, Milano, Lucky Fluke, Ace and an Ace, Avanas? Not too familiar with their name there. We got 22K for the victory. Flair Hooves all in, Ace 10 suited. Flopping the straight draw to the queen, bangs it off. We got the heart draw for Lucky Fluke's 9s. That does not get there. Full double up for Flair Hoove to start this bad boy off. Whoo wee wee wah. Thanks to KalipokerTV Poker Replays. If at any point in time you find yourself not giving a shit for the commentary, there'll be a link in the description down below to the video and Kali Poker, so you can go check out some more poker action in some silence. And Romeo Pro just took 9-2 suited, yoinked it in there for about 17 blinds effective. Nice aggressive play. Aerodonas with the 10 and the 5 hasn't found the fold yet. Milanov with an ace has about 3.5 blinds. We'll see if they stick it in here, look for something a little bit better. We see they could make about $700 if they get a ladder. We've got $2,900 locked up. Milanov does pass on the spot. Romeo Pro comes in for an open with the jack and the 3. Not even suited this time. 8-3 suited will call the big. Queen 7-2 flop. Backdoor flush draw for Romeo, who bets 1 blind. Avanas with the backdoor flush draw themselves. Finds the call and a pair of 3s for both players on the turn. Romeo with the better kicker here somehow. Does Avanas call another small bet? 1 more blind. I think we call another bet here. 8 on the river. Bingo. Non-club. 2 pair leads out. Does Romeo Pro ever bluff here with the jack of clubs in their holding? Blocking 2 pairs? I think it's a little bit better than calling. We'll see what Romeo elects to do. Very aggressive player here is Romeo, but they also find some good hero calls. Obviously they're losing in this instance. We hope that they find the right play, which is just a fold. I think the jam would get called by the 2 pairs on the river here, especially after taking this long. Romeo says, fuck it, dude, I don't care. I am still going to raise the river. Try to get the 2 pair to fold, and again, I just don't think it's going to work out here today. I think we took a little too long in the tank. Avanas will stick it all in themselves, and Romeo has to call for no chips, and somehow he folds. Oh my lord, it's less than 0.1 of a big blind, and Romeo still found the fold there, just knowing that their jack 3 was no good. They're gonna limp in the 3 and the 3 this time around. Ace 9 for blow knockout in the big blind. Got a set of 3s versus ace high on the 10-3-2 flop. All clubs, no clubs for blow knockout. This should be a pretty boring pot. Romeo goes for a little bit bigger of a bet. I was going to say we'll bet 1 blind again, but I would have been wrong. Ace 9 will get the heck out of there. Ace 4 suited. Milanov will be all in under the gun, and Romeo has ace jack somehow. 2-2 for Aerodonas in the big blind. Does Romeo just isolate the pot with a raise? Nah, they find the call option. Aerodonas might complete the big blind. That they do, and they flop a frickin' set, dude. Ace jack doesn't have a good reason to put any chips in the middle here. Just the backdoor straight draw 2 in there. Both Broadway and the wheel draw. Milanov has a pair of 4s. That's obviously no good here. 9 on the turn. The board is locked up for the set of 2s. Aerodonas bets real small. Romeo gets out of there, and we are going to lose Milanov. Ace 4 for Romeo. They went for a limp with the small pocket pair. We'll see what they do with the ace. They come in for a min raise. Ace jack will call for Avanas in the big. Or so that's, what the hell? That's from the cutoff. How did I get that so wrong? Anyways, King 8-3 is the flop. 2 spades out there. Romeo with the ace of spades. I'm going to go for an overbet right here and now. Right on the flop. 8 blinds into 6.5. And ace jack does just find the fold. Ace jack no spade, just a backdoor straight draw. 9-9, lucky fluke comes in for the open. Even ass with another weird hand here. Ace-9 suited will just fold. Romeo with king-8 in the big blind and has plenty of chips. Probably calls and sees the flop. They say no, I'm going to fold and just show a little respect to lucky fluke's open there. Ace-Queen for blow knockout. A very aggressive player themselves as well, just not holding the chips here today. 17 blinds, comes in for the min raise. Milano in the big blind with a jack and a 9 will fold. Ace jack for Milano. Got a king and a jack. Air de Nas opens it up. 6-4 suited for Romeo Pro. They are covered. Nice little fold there. Doesn't get too crazy with the 6-4 suited. Ace jack, however, will rip it in for 10.5 blinds, and Air de Nas hopefully just folds here. They are dominated. Good fold. Milano up to 14.5 blinds now. Ace-9 for Air de Nas. You know, I don't even think the sound's being picked up, and I don't know why. There we go, now we got sound. My apologies. What a dumbass commentator. I can't even get the sound going. Good thing I figured that out 6 minutes into the video. Ace-7, Flair Hoove. No, they're not going to play that shit. 12 blinds. Romeo Pro with the queen and a 10 certainly opens it up here, covering all the remaining players. They're going to rip it in for 27 blinds effective. Ace-10, ace and ace. I think we call here. This feels like a call for 9 blinds. Obviously, there's some ladders out there potentially in the future, but Ace-10 feels too good to fold. We are dominating Romeo Pro in this instance. There's a lot of flips, if we're being honest. A lot of pocket pairs do this. All the worst pocket pairs do it. Most of the better pocket pairs come in for a smaller raise. Even jacks, 10s, they all come in for a small raise, you know. So at worst, you're flipping. Ace and ace finds the fold. But at worst, you're flipping, and then there's a bunch of suited ace-X that does that as well. Suited Broadways that do that. We saw 2 high cards, queen 10 off, was it, that just ripped it in? I feel like that ace 10 still has to stick it in there when you kind of think about the range that's just going to come in for the open rip. And here we get a king 5 suited. Romeo Pro's right back in there. Lucky fluke with the ace king calls, of course. King 4 will get out of the way. Looking for heart stealer. Oh, but the 5 works. Just an ace. No ace. Romeo Pro wins a freaking big pot, and lucky fluke is Gonzo Alonzo. King jack, Flair Hoove, gonna fold under the gun. Ace queen for ace and ace. 8-8 for blow knockout. Romeo Pro comes in for the min raise with the 6 and the 9. All in for 8 blinds. Ace and an ace rips it in. Blow knockout is in a weird spot with the 8-8, finds the fold, and Romeo Pro might just fold 6-9 here. No full double for you, buddy. Ace-5, Romeo comes in for another open surely. We got 2 pocket pairs in the blinds. Milano with the king-jack. Oh, we get a limp here. Romeo Pro limps it on in under the gun. Milano gets out of the way. 8-6 suited comes along. And we get a 31 blind jam here by Air de Nas. 7-7 for Flair Hoove, might just be able to fold. This is a huge jam. We got about 12 blinds in total. 11 behind. I think we just fold the 7 and the 7. And Flair Hoove is a very, very strong player. No doubt about it. They just let the 7s go. Get rewarded with an ace and a king. I don't know if they're going to get a full double here. Probably just the blinds and antes. We'll see how they elect to go. If they limp, does Romeo Pro ever raise all in with 8-4 off? Sometimes. That's the only way we get the double. No surprises here though. Ace King will just rip and take it down pre for about 10.5 blinds effective or some shit. Jack Jack for Air de Nas. They'll come in for an open and get just about nothing here. Just the blinds and antes. Oh, we're going to limp it in, forcing Milano to see a flop. Romeo with Jack 9 will probably call. We're probably going 3 ways to the flop here, dealer. 8-7-4. Romeo with a straight draw to the 10. Milano with the backdoor flush draw on the bottom pair of bottom pair of fours. My apology. Jack 9 will lead out 2 blinds, just over half pot. Jack calls 8 on the turn, pairing the board, bringing in another flush draw. 5-6 was a flop straight. Got about 8 blinds in the middle, and I think Romeo's going to go bombs away here. Feels like a good card just to go bet and then jam the river. On most rivers, maybe not a diamond. Jacks just fold the turn? That's no good. Surely we have to call and see a river card there. Oh, Aerodanas is no weak player, but that was a little bit of a really good bluff, I suppose. I don't know. That was at least you have to call once more. If you see the river card and it's some sort of diamond, heart, like a 6 or a 5, puts one liner to a straight out there, flush gets there, easy fold, right? Just with the pair of jacks. But my lord, I think we have to call the turn. But anyways, we'll just move along. Ace King, did we limp it in again? Jack 10 sees a flop. Aerodanas bets about half pot, a little bit less. Takes this one down here, but it's a small one. Kings is a good hand. 4-4 for Romeo. We do get a min raise this time out of Aerodanas. No way Romeo just rips it in here, right? They just fold. Whoa, Romeo just folds the 4s. Milano rips in ace 9 suited. That's no good. They're in trouble. They need an ace or some spades, dude. Another 9 works. There's no spades out there except for that 4. That doesn't matter. 21 blinds. Going to slide over to Aerodanas with the king and the king, winning a big pot. And Romeo gets ace 8. Playing 45 effective. Surely we just come in for a min raise. Although they've limped it in earlier. And then ace 8 limps it in. I don't get it. 9-5 suited rips for 21.5 blinds. Even S takes it down pre. What? I don't get that. Flair Hoove has ace king in the big blind though. Blown knockout might rip king 5 suited for 12. If they're impatient. They took the spot. Ace king quickly calls. No 5 dealer. Don't do it. No chops out there. Nice clean 3 on the river. Flair Hoove will knock out, below knockout, and we are down to 5 players. We have about 8 grand locked up. Ace and ace comes in for the min raise with the king and the jack, and this might just get through pre for him, and that it does. That it does. Queen. Aerodanas comes in for a min raise with another strong pocket pair. 8-4 might just fold here. Move along. Preserve the big blind. King 10 Romeo. Do we rip it in? Ace and an ace would probably fold the ace 8. Romeo does rip it in. Surely we just fold. Although I think about it, I think I might call with the ace 8 sometimes. We're in last place. There's just I guess ace and ace ace and an ace has 12.5 blinds, which is still plenty to play with, you know. And we can still hope for some coolers, like Romeo Pro's just ripping it all in for 20 some blinds effective against Aerodanas. And then they rip in the queen 8. Look at this ace for Aerodanas in the big blind. Queen 8 just rips it in for 20 some blinds, has 8 grand locked up in the 1K, and says, dude, I don't care to play anymore. And the question is, what do you do with the ace here? You obviously get it in some which way. Calling feels like aces, so I think you just have to jam. Calling is only going to be aces. 1-8 out there, no queens or 8 dudes. There we go, we're going to lose a body. Aerodanas with a very aggressive jam there. For 20 some blinds, and the aces were dealt in the big blind. I don't know what I was trying to say. Aerodanas the beneficiary of a big punt. Ace-6. We'll raise and take it down pre. Oh, and then we get a big cooler here. Ace-King versus Jack-Jack. Ace-7 for Flair Hoove. Don't do it. Don't do it, Flair Hoove. Nice fold. This just gets in pre, and then good luck to these two. No way Jacks call. They're just going to rip it in. We'll see what happens. Good start for Jacks. Good turn. And a clean river. 6 of spades means nothing. 21 blinds. We'll slide over to ace and ace. They win the big flip, although at least one ace was dead. Erdonas gets a walk, and they're still in first place here with the healthy 53 blind stack. Ace-6 for Flair Hoove in the big blind. Romeo with the 8 and the 10 tightens up a little bit. Says I'm going to just fold ace and ace on the button. Shitty little 8-5 off. They're going to get out of the way. 3-2 suited. We'll limp it in and flop a flush draw. Bet 1 blind. And Flair Hoove just folds the ace high. Ace-8 for ace and 8. No, ace-8 for ace and ace. Fuck, their name is difficult to say. Got a king and an 8 for Romeo. I'm going to defend the big blind with a call. Oh, and look at this flop. King, Jack, 3, 2 hearts. Top pair for Romeo. Flush draw for ace and ace. Yeah, a small bet by the flush draw in position. If I'm Romeo, I just call and give him rope. Romeo says we're going to go for a small raise. The minimum. Hey dealer, what's the minimum raise? Yes, I want to pick that one. Flush draw calls. 5 on the turn is clean so far. We're looking for an ace or a heart, obviously. Romeo Pro with the tops to pairs. Bets again here. 2.5 blinds, sizing up the river jam if they want to take it. Huh. What do we do if we face a jam on the turn here? Very difficult situation Romeo's gotten himself into. Although, to be fair, if they just call the flop, might go check on the turn. We get an 8 on the river, 2 pairs. Romeo's going to rip it in here. Ace and ace is going to think about a hero call, making pair status on the river. Queen 10, 10, 9, hearts miss. Like ace 10 probably doesn't rip the river here. What's some other draws? There's no more straight draws really. Like 10-8 wouldn't do this somehow. Yeah, you're not going to get some sort of like ace 5 river jam. Ace 5 of hearts you block. Ace 5 of diamonds with it's not likely, dude. Not too likely. Hard to find the hero call in this situation if we're being honest. Man, I love me a good hero call, but not here, not now. Oh my god, we found it. Not here, not now. And ace and ace says, yeah, here and now. They are unfortunately out of here in 4th place. They get about 10 grand for their efforts. We've got 13 1/4 locked up. Flair Hoove bets 1 blind with the king 7 in position and gets king 9 to fold. Good result for Flair Hoove there. Ace Jack, Romeo Pro. I'm gonna limp it on in here playing 50 blinds deep with Erdonas. Flair Hoove checks back 6-5. We get a Jack 8-4 flop, top pair, top kicker. Romeo bets 1 blind, or 1.5 or some shit. Flair Hoove with the straight draw to the 7 can think about a check raise, but might land on a call. No way Romeo checks this one back, right? No way. Why are we so deep in the tank? Why haven't we bet a big blind yet? 3.5. We just go over bet 3.5 blinds and take the pot down. What a little happening that was. 7-5. Gonna limp it in. Romeo with a 9 and a 3. We are suited. 9-3 suited. Coming for the raise to 4 blinds. Take it down pre-flop. Queen 2 suited. Romeo's gonna raise. 4-4 for Erdones. No, it's a limp pot. Look at all the 2s though. King 2-2 flop. Pretty good board for 4s. In position. Romeo bets 1 blind quickly this time, which is good news for them. They're going to get at least a call here. 7 on the turn is a club. Got 2 outs for Erdones. Romeo sizing up a bet here. Do we ever go for a check raise? No, I think a small bet comes in. 2.5 is pretty small considering Romeo's not afraid to overbet. Get another call by the 4s. A 3 is pretty fucking clean here. Flush draw misses. Erdones is going to hero call and Romeo can go for the overbet on the river. They rip it in. They fucking rip it in like 4.5x the pot. Can you imagine a 4 still hero call? I don't think so now. This is way too greedy of a bet. I knew Romeo was going to overbet, but the all-in is just too greedy. Trying to get a king to call. Oof. Very greedy play by Romeo. And the worst 2 is going to call is we get 2-2 for Flare Hoof to rip it in. So it's not like he's never going to get called there with the all-in size. It's just very unlikely with the 4s. That is. Limp pot, right? So there's going to be all the 2x in there. And then there's going to be pairs of kings that might look you up to. So Queen 2 is not necessarily a horrific jam, even though it looks, and I originally thought it looked very aggressive, or very greedy, not aggressive, although it was aggressive. King 8 is aggressive, going for the min 3 bet here. Flare Hoof 4 bets to 8 blinds, 16 behind. Romeo's going to think about a 5 bet to 12 blinds. Fold to the jam. They say, fuck it, we're just going to move along. Romeo still in first place, 60 blinds for him. 8-7 versus 7-5. We get a big raise by Erdones, and they take it down pre-flop. King 6 suited. Erdones opens the button, and Romeo with 10-6 will call and see a flop here, dudes. 8-3-2 is the board. Not too fun. Both players with the backdoor flush draw. Romeo could always check raise with some backdoor straight draws and a backdoor flush draw. They could always check raise. 7.5. 5. They just go small. I don't quite get the sizing, but I get the play, you know. I don't quite get the sizing. And we get a 3 bet on the flop here. King 6 says, I'm gonna fuck you up, dude. How about that? Does Romeo ever 4 bet? To like 15, 16.5 or something? No, Romeo just gets out of there. Nice play by Erdones, fighting back against Romeo. Then we got ace-ace versus the old 9-3 suited. Ace-ace. Strong hand. I love the limp. I love it. I was gonna say something about it, but I didn't think it was gonna happen. Romeo says, let's go to the flop, dude. 9-3 sees a little 8-6-3 board. Another situation where it's not too bad of a flop for 9-3. Romeo bets 5.5 into like 2.5. 9-3 folded quicker than I could say anything. In a spot where I would have been curious as fuck, dude. Romeo would totally own me. 8-6. I would have been calling down with that 9-3. What is a limp pot? So many draws out there. Let's see a turn card dealer. You'd find a 7 or some shit that brings in another flush draw, and you're like, okay, I got an open-ender straight draw and a little pair of 3s. Let's go to the river dealer. And then it'd be some like deuce that bricks both flush draws, and then you call the river all in and you just lose. And look at this play here, 10-5 coming in for a 3 bet. Is this an open to 4 blinds from a small? Romeo with the 8-6 off. Erdones comes in for the smallest of 3 bets to 8.5 blinds. 10-5 off. He just said the same thing twice. It's just kind of a remarkable play. Romeo's a non-believer but has to let it go. Erdenas and Romeo, they're getting after it, and there was a very interesting play. Oh, it was the jacks folded earlier by Erdenas. I wonder if they saw what happened. Maybe like some sort of stream caught up or some shit. Erdenas got to see that he got bluffed off the pot when he folded the jacks, and then maybe he's being disrespectful after his opponent disrespected him. Anyways, nines for Romeo. We'll go for a bet ski and take a little pot down. Ace queen versus queen 10 suited. This is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. Don't 3-bet Romeo. Just call. Oh, we get a 10 on the flop. 10, 9, 4. Erdenas 2 over cards. Backdoor straight draws. They bet 2.5 blinds in position. Does Romeo come in for a small check raise again? Well, they're just going to call this time. 5 on the turn. I think this goes check, check, and we're off to the river. 6 of diamonds. Romeo has to bet, and I think they bet large here. And then Erdenas might hero call, even though 8-7 got there. 7-4, 3-2. I was going to say like 12 blinds. Romeo sizes up 14. And if I'm Erdenas, I really think about a call, even though I block queen jack. Jack 7, jack 8. Queen jack, king queen, hearts, 7-3. I need some sort of like 7x, 8x. Anyways, I see why Erdenas hero calls there with the ace high. They see the bad news, and Romeo does take down a pretty fucking nice pot there. They're gonna rip in the king 4 for some 20 blinds effective and take it down pretty. Jack 9 suited for Romeo. They're playing a whole different game here, even though it's super aggressive. They're gonna rip it in and take it down pretty. Romeo's always been an aggressive player, but this is next level aggression. It's kind of fun to watch, but you don't expect to see it too much. 9-3 limps. Wait, what? Oh, sorry, my apologies. King 10 opened. 9-3 posted the big blind. My apologies. Holy fuck. I thought Erdenas limped in 9-3. Jack 6, ridiculous holding, opening the button here. Ace 10 for Erdenas. We'll think about a 3-bet jam. Calling feels gross. A small 3-bet would be cool. 7 blinds is kind of big. Still gets the job done though. Like, what size would you even go if you don't go 7? Like 6s. 6 is almost too small, right? So 7 is actually kind of a cool sizing there by Erdenas, even though you only have like 18 behind. Romeo's got 3 pairs. 3 pairs in a game where you only play 5 cards. I don't know what to say about that. You're blocking boats. Romeo Pro overbets 5.5 into 4.8. Erdenas with another hero calling hand. 9 on the river doesn't change shit, except Romeo has a boat now. Can still get called by a 2 and ace highs, king highs. He checks it over. Oh no, ace high will check it back. Romeo says, maybe you have a few too many flush draws that might go for a river bluff if I give you some room. Checks it on over with the full house and sees the bad news. Queen 3 will rip it in and take it down pre. Queen 8 will rip and take it down pre. I guess that's just Romeo's play here. They're just going to jam and win the pot. And do that until the tournament's over. Couple of ducks. Do we get this in? Flare hoove. If we min raise the king queen suited, 2-2 will rip it in here. We are about to find out. We get an open to 12 blinds and flare hoove will take it down pre. This gets in here. 4-4 rips. Ace jack easy call. Big flip. Jack on the flop. Just a 4, dude. Diamond is a chop. Pff. Romeo finds the diamond for the chop pot. Flare hoove running like shit there. Erdenas with the ace king will come in for the open to 2 blinds, I presume. 8-4 suited, we'll think about a call and see. We'll see 3 cards. Queen, queen, jack. Erdenas backdoor flush draw. 2 overs. Straight draw to the 10. They bet 1.5, and Romeo hasn't folded 8 high yet. With the backdoor flush draw, Romeo finally lets her go. 10 and a 6. Romeo rips, takes it down pre, and we're moving on along. 6-3 is a fold, right? 6-3 must be a fold, Romeo. Min raise to 2 blinds and take it down pre. Blinds go up. Ace 5, King 10. This gets in pre, doesn't it? I think King 10 is a call here. Romeo says no, it's not, because we want to preserve the situation. Interesting. You learn something every day. 3-2 will rip it in and take it down pre. See, this is what I don't get, where King 10 is a call for chips in that situation for like 12, 13 blinds or whatever. Romeo says, I want to preserve this situation. But then they're still just going to jam in like 3-2 and random S. Like, this has got to be a call. 7s versus ace 7. We're looking for a ace or some chop help. We don't find it on the turn nor the river. Flair Hoof is Gonzo Alonso in 3rd place, getting just over 13 grand for their score. And then we've got like a $5,000 heads up battle. Romeo with the 5 and the 3 going to start things off with the open, a min raise, and King 5 suited jams and takes it down pre-flop. Erdenas at about 15 blinds here to Romeo's 78. Yikes, dude. Queen 2 limps it in 10-4. Checks it back. We both find pairs on the King Queen 4 flop, and it goes check check 6 on the turn. 2 1/4 blinds in the middle. Turn goes check check 9 on the river. If I'm Romeo, I'm going to hero call. 2 blinds in the middle. Yeah, quick call. Erdenas does get paid off there. Ace 8 versus ace 8. This gets in pre. Jam and a quick call. No backdoor flush draws for either player, so we will chop this up. Moving on along. 7 and a 3, limping it in. 3 and a 4, raising it up to about 4 blinds. 5.5. Romeo just goes huge, takes it down pre. Big raise by Romeo, and the Jack 8 will, what do we do, limp? We limp it in, 8-2, we check it on back, and we see a flush draw and top pair. This gets in on the flop, I do believe. Erdenas with the flush draw, 8 high, backdoor straight draws in there. Hard to play turns if you don't make your hand. We face an overbet right here, and now we just jamming a quick call by Romeo. We're looking for some clubs. We do call the flop. What? See, now there's a king of diamonds out there, and we got no which way to play our hand. Does Romeo give him a free river or bet like 3 blinds again? He jams it all in and takes it on down. Erdenas doesn't get to realize their equity, and that's why I thought they would have just ripped it in on the flop. But I guess facing the overbet on the flop, you maybe just don't want to get it in. I'm not, like, I guess that makes some sense, right? If you suspect his range is going to be like some flush draws that might dominate you, some straight draws that might dominate you, top pairs. This is going to get in pre-flop, by the way. King, queen jams, ace, king suited calls. Looking for a queen. That's a non-diamond. And we don't find it. Romeo Pro gets the job done. They played a very fucking aggressive game, and they're going to scoop it. Erdenas gets the 17th K payday for their second place showing. We'll see where they started this bad boy off at. Erdenas, they had that huge fold with jacks, and if we're being honest, if they called there, it would have depended on the river, of course. Should I find the hand? I probably should. Oh, this just might take me a second. So we get a bet on the flop. It's a little bit like more than half pot. Jacks call, board pairs on the turn. There's still the flop straight. I don't expect much 7x to go for some big bet here. Still going to be plenty of draws. We're going to have to call one and see the river card. And then if Erdenas wins this hand somehow, If like a snap fold doesn't make sense to me. If Erdenas wins that pot there, we got 8, 8, 8, 24 blinds in the middle. Romeo's not going to be able to be a big bully. Maybe Erdenas is the one who's the big bully and wins the tournament there. In the end, they still get second place, which is a damn good showing. And what can you do? Romeo is a great player. Very nice bluff by Romeo to continue to tell the story on the turn here. But that's the end of the show. So if you made it all the way through, thanks for checking this bullshit out. Hopefully we'll see you in another video. If you got any comments or suggestions on improving the show, fire them down in the comments below. And until next time, adios amigos.